Students, today during your RAMS period, we are going to explore a tool that has been provided to you in your student planner or that your teacher will provide you. This tool will help you with setting goals and allowing for the opportunity to reflect and meet those goals throughout the year. Your RAMS period class will serve as the gateway to obtaining and reviewing your test history and your goals. However, it will be during your academic courses in which you will need to concentrate your efforts that will lead to improving your test FSA EOC scores, thus helping you reach your academic goals and finally the ultimate goal of graduating. This year more than ever, with the Florida Standards Assessment in English, Language Arts, EOCs in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Biology, and U.S. History, it is even more important that you are aware of your strengths and weaknesses and put together an action plan to better understand your graduation requirements. You may be asking, why is this important to me? I already know I've passed, or not so, what's the big deal? With graduation requirements already in place, it's always important for each of you to not only know whether you have passed or not, but also to know your scale score. The scale score gives you a better understanding of where you stand within the assigned level. By knowing your scores, you can take ownership of your own learning. Your teachers will work hard for you, but if you don't know what they are working towards and the specific skills you need to be successful, the achievement of your goals will be then quite difficult. By the end of this presentation today, each of you will become familiar with the required assessments that determine graduation requirements, the assessment timeline for the 2016-17 school year, your previous assessment levels and scale scores, and the score that you will need to achieve in order to obtain proficiency, and again, ultimately graduation. At this time, open your planner to page 9, and let's take a look at the assessments and the timeline of the year that you are given. As you look through this list, it is important for everyone to know that all 9th and 10th graders will take the English Language Arts portion of the Florida Standards Assessment, the FSA. Take a moment and circle the assessments that pertain directly to you. For instance, if you are in biology, you would circle the biology end of course assessment shown at the bottom of the chart. Another example pertaining to all of you will be the PSAT, SAT school day happening for all students grades 9 through 12 on Wednesday, October 19th. It is important to note that all 9th and 10th and 11th graders will take the PSAT, while all seniors, our 12th graders, will take the SAT. I'll give you a few moments once again to complete this task as you look to all other assessments, making sure you're clear as to which one and when you'll be taking them. Now that you've turned to page 10, focus your attention on the charts that outline the scale scores and their corresponding levels for the FSA English Language Arts ELA test. The chart seen here outlines the breakdown of levels by grade for your previous year's scores. Please note that all FSA, ELA, and EOC assessments require a level 3, 4, or 5 to be considered proficient. We will reference this chart in a few minutes. Now, take a look at the scores related to the EndofCourse exams in Algebra 1, Geometry, Biology, Algebra 2, and U.S. History. It is important to note that all EOCs account for 30% of your grade in the EOC course that you are currently enrolled. As previously mentioned, all FSA, ELA, and EOC assessments require a level 3, 4, or 5 to be considered proficient. Finally, the last chart pertains to score breakdown for the PERT, ACT, and SAT with regards to college readiness scores. You all should be familiar with these scores, again, because these are all graduation requirements. Should you have any questions about PERT or any other of the EOCs, please speak directly with your content area teacher or teachers. At this time, as you turn to page 11 in your planner, or reference the sheet that was given to you your teacher will hand you an individual sheet with your academic history. It is important that you keep this, and then the teacher will collect it back at the end of this presentation, and then they'll give it back to you the following week. Teachers, at this time, please ensure that your students are turned to page 11 in their planners, and you may go ahead and pass out the academic history report. This academic report has your complete academic history, including all test scores and grades from previous classes. For those ninth graders, your report will be quite limited based upon the fact that you don't have a full complement of high school courses. For seniors, juniors, and sophomore, clearly your report will have much more information based upon your experiences to this point. Let's take a brief moment to develop a common understanding of the charts provided for you. The first 4 columns are for you to notate your scores for the assessments you take this year. Some of you may take the assessments more than once, which is why we included 4 columns. You will notice that there is one column for the level you received, a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, as well as a column for your scale score for that assessment. The final 2 columns shall be for the scores you received in the previous year, which would be from the 2015-2016 school year. Once you have received your testing history document, which was just given to you, from your teacher, take a few moments at this time to look at your previous score for each of the assessments listed on this document. You will be expected to write these scores in the far right 2 columns titled Previous Year. If you have not taken an assessment, keep the area blank. Take this time now to write in your scores. Teachers, we'll ask that you please walk around the room, ensuring that your students are doing this. If you have taken the PSAT, SAT, or ACT, please include your scores on this chart as well. As an example for the SAT, if you took it last year and will be taking it again on Wednesday, October 19th, remember, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, you're taking the PSAT, and seniors, you're taking the SAT, and we are paying for all of those. Only include your most recent score on the first row, and then when you take it again in October, you can update your planner to reflect your scores. Once you have filled in each of the boxes on the chart, take a moment to go back to the charts on page 10. Highlight the box that represents your current level and take note of where your scale score falls within that particular level. Were you close to moving up to the next level? Or were you close to falling backwards, sliding down to the lower level? At this time, take a few moments to reflect on what you did academically to earn this score. Remember, this is a graduation requirement, so knowing your scores and how it relates to you directly is critical to your academic success. The final task in this presentation includes setting goals for improvement. You know what you did last year and what your scale score means, level 5, level 4, 3, 2, and 1. So as you reflected, you may have discovered that the work you put in last year may have led to the score you received, positive or negative. At this time, at the bottom of each chart, there is a line that says goals to improve. Find it. On this line, write down today's date, which in this case is Wednesday, September 14th. And on the next line next to it, write down one goal you have and how you plan to achieve this goal as far as your end of course or FSA tests are concerned. Remember, take this seriously because this is a graduation requirement. You don't want to have to be chasing this at the very end, so better to get it done with and taken care of now. Do this for each of the assessments you'll be required to take this school year and look ahead. I'll give you a minute to do that. During this presentation, you are given your own unique assessment scores and academic history. All of this information can be viewed at any time in your own individual Skyward account. You should make a habit of checking this information on a fairly consistent basis so that you can continue to reflect and set goals that will keep you focused towards your ultimate goal of graduation. Obviously, working with your teachers, your guidance counselors is just as important, but at the end of the day, your responsibility combined with the great work of your teachers will help ensure your success. Again, be familiar with this. We hope you've gained some valuable information through this presentation. Should you have any questions with your scores or with your academic progress and history that you are making, please don't hesitate to speak with any one of your teachers and again, your guidance counselors. Thank you for all that you do to make Lake Mary High School the model school in Central Florida. We appreciate your focus, we appreciate your attention, and we appreciate just how serious you take these tests because once again, at the end of the day, the responsibility falls to all of us in ultimately ensuring the ultimate goal of you graduating from Lake Mary High School. Have a great day. And once again, thank you for your time and attention. And as always, go Rams.